As Ryder left the pups, Marshall decided to walk around and let Chase mingle with some other people. Chase was curious as to where Marshall was taking him and the others. Soon, they ran into a young adult named Mike. "Oh, excuse me," said Mike. "Sorry, I didn't see you there," said Chase in a disguised voice. "Say, I haven't seen you around before," said Mike. "Are you new here?" Chase stammered a bit and said, "Why, yes. My name is Chase. I'm visiting from Adventure Bay. I'm the uncle of one of the nominees here, Ryder." "Nice to meet you, Chase. I'm Mike," he said as he extended his hand out to shake it. Chase hesitated. He lifted his paw to shake, but the sleeve of the coat was hanging over his paw. Zuma quickly stuck his paw out and stuck Mike's hand. After they shook, Zuma pulled his hand back in, and Mike said, "You like to bundle up in your coat, eh?" Yeah," Chase chuckled nervously. "I do get chilly quite easily." And Sky facepawed and groaned. "Ugh. I'm here for my brother, Joe," said Mike. "Oh," said Chase. "Well, best of luck to him." "Right back at you," said Michael. Sky suddenly felt her nose tickle. She felt a sneeze coming. She tried hard to hold it in, but just couldn't. She let out a very audible sneeze. "Achoo!" "Bless you, Chase's belly button," Mike said before he walked off. Chase was relieved their cover wasn't blown, but at the same time he started to feel worried about Sky. Sky peeked at the coach, watching Mike walk away. "The people in Porterton aren't very bright," she said. "Fortunately," Chase added, dropping his ears. Sky hit again. "Marshall, I think we should take Ryder's advice and stay out of people's ways," said Chase. "I agree," said Marshall, who then started to walk into another direction. "Everything okay down there?" Chase asked the other part. "Yeah, we're good," the other pup said. "Don't worry about me, Chase. I'm fine," said Sky. Marshall kept walking blindly, but he ended up bumping everyone into a table. Rocky ended up slamming his nose on the table. "Ow!" he said. "Marshall, watch where you're going." "Sorry," Marshall blushed. "You ran us right into the hors d'oeuvre table," Rocky said, peeking out. "Hey, Rocky," said Rebel, "I'm kind of hungry. Think you can snitch me some grub while we're here?" "I think I can try, Rebel," said Rocky. He barked. "Pincers." The pincers from his pup pack activated, which reached out of the coat and grabbed a small cheese platter. He pulled it in and handed it down to Rebel. Rebel stood eating from the plate. A couple cheese crumbs fell off the plate, which Marshall caught with his tongue. "Anybody else want some?" Rebel offered. "I think we're good, Rebel," said Sky. "Yeah, ditto," said Zuma. Suit yourselves," said Rebel as he continued eating. Soon the ceremony began. The pups decided to go take their seats. Of course, it was difficult and awkward for them to sit down, but they managed. Marshall was relieved to finally get the weight off his shoulders, but by now he had gotten used to carrying all the other pups. Each pup underneath Chase unbuttoned their part of the coat so they could peek out and watch the ceremony, but they stayed as hidden as they could not to not draw attention. They also stayed as quiet as they could. Finally, the mayor of Porterton announced Ryder. Ryder gave a speech. After Ryder gave a speech, the mayor asked, "Is there anybody here tonight on your behalf, Ryder?" "Why, yes," said Ryder. "My Uncle Chase is here today." At that moment, the mayor invited his Uncle Chase to climb up onto the stage. Hearing this, the pups all his back in the coat quickly. Then Marshall, Rebel, Rocky, Sky, and Zuma all held on tightly to the legs of the pup who was atop them. Marshall stood up. The pups all wobbled a lot, but managed to catch their equilibrium. Marshall slowly walked onto the stage carrying the other pups. However, as soon as he got on the stage, he wasn't watching his footing, and just as he walked past the podium, he tripped over a cord, causing the tower of pups to come collapsing down to the ground. When they hit the ground, Chase lost his hat and fake mustache. The mayor gasped. "What is this?" The pups got up, revealing their true identities. "Dogs?" the mayor gasped. "I can explain, Mr. Mayor," said Ryder. "These are my pups. We're called the Paw Patrol. These pups are the ones who work with me to help the community of our town. They wanted to come to give me moral support, so they did." The pups were flattered by Ryder's speech, as was the mayor, but the mayor said, "Well, that is a very good thing that you and your pups do, Ryder. But since you have broken the no animals allowed rule, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disqualify you from the award nominations." The pups moaned in disappointment. "Sorry, guys," said Chase to the pups. "This is all my fault. I never should have talked you into this." "Aw, don't be so hard on yourself, Chase," said Sky. "We all did it for Ryder. And even though we didn't win the award," said Marshall, "at least we all still got each other." "Yeah," said Rocky. "Besides, it's not like anything super tragic happened or anything." All of a sudden, a woman came running into the hall screaming. She announced that there was a major accident downtown, and 6 children were in distress. This got Chase's attention. He hopped in and said, "Come on, pups! This is a job for the Paw Patrol!" The other pups got up quickly and barked excitedly as Chase led them outside. Some people followed them, including Ryder and the mayor. They saw the pups all rush into their vehicles and drove off to save the children. The pups got to the scene of the crime. There was a car crash down the street. The pups looked around for any children in distress. Chase first spotted a boy who was dangling from the top of a building. He ordered Sky to fly up there and save him. Sky did as instructed and lowered her harness to the boy, then lowered him down to safety. Chase then heard screams coming from a girl who was trapped surrounded by burning bushes. He instructed Marshall to go save her. Marshall rushed over and put out the flames, allowing the girl to make it out safely. Chase then heard distress calls coming from a nearby tunnel that was blocked by boulders. He knew that this would be a job for Rubble, so Rubble went over and moved the boulders out of the way, letting the boy trapped inside out. Then Chase looked down at the lake. There was a girl stranded on an island and a boy in the water drowning. Without hesitation, Zuma rushed down to save the boy using his hovercraft and buoy. Rock used parts from his recycle bin and his tools to build a bridge for the girl to get across. It took him a little while, though, since he was afraid of getting wet, but he managed to successfully save the girl, and Zuma helped him speed things up after he finished his rescue. Finally, Chase saw a girl who was stuck under a fallen tree. He knew it was up to him to save this girl, since the other pups all played their parts. Chase drove over to the tree and moved him with his wrench, and the girl was free. Once all the children were saved, everyone who saw all the action applauded the Paw Patrol. Ryder spoke to the woman who witnessed this accident about how this all happened. It turns out 3 of her children were sitting around minding their own business when the car accident occurred and caused the fire, the tree, and the buildings to take effect. The other 3 kids were skateboarding, and the crash caused them to fly off to where they ended up. Everyone was so relieved that the kids were okay, and they were so thankful for the Paw Patrol's daring rescue. "Wow," said the mayor. "I've never seen such teamwork on such a big rescue, and at such an amazing speed. Is this what you and your pups do every day?" "Yeah, it's what we do every day," said Ryder. The pups then decided to work together to fix the damage caused by the car crash. Fortunately, nobody in the car was hurt. Later, as they finished, the mayor held another ceremony outside the hall. He announced to the crowd, "After such an amazing performance of teamwork and rescuing 6 children from danger, I have decided to give the award for excellence in community service to Ryder and the Paw Patrol from Adventure Bay." The pups barked and howled with excitement as the audience applauded. "Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor," said Ryder. "I'm sure the folks at Adventure Bay will be happy to hear this." "Ryder, I can't thank your pups enough," said the mayor. "Even though they came uninvited, who knows what would have happened to those kids if your pups weren't here to save them." "It's all part of our job," said Ryder with a smile. "Just remember, when you're in trouble, just yell for help, and we'll be there as quickly as we can. But for now, I think we should head for home. I think the pups are bushed after this long day." Chase yawned. "It was a long drive up here." "I'm ready for dinner," said Rebel. "And I could use a shoulder massage," said Marshall. The other pups laughed. That night, when Ryder and the pups returned to Adventure Day, a big bonfire was held at the beach in honor of their award. Ryder told everyone the story of what happened that day while the pups played volleyball. "You're all good pups, and we saved the day, and now it's time to play around Adventure Day. Paw Patrol!" The end.